Welcome back. Our discussion about currency fluctuation, commodities price, and global economic condition. And we have Mr. Vicky Amarnani from Monex Invest in the Futures here. Before we go into the rupiah fluctuation towards US dollar, now tonight we're going to be the meeting of the ECB. Correct. To buy the bonds on the crisis countries in the Europe. So how is it?
I don't expect anything concrete to come out from the ECB meeting. I mean, as we have seen the past ECB meetings, they will provide enough assurance for investors so there's no panic in the market. But the thing is, what I believe is that even the European leaders don't know the extent of the debt problem in Europe. It's the first time they've dealt with such a big crisis compared to the US and Asia, where they've dealt with many crises in the past. So with them, it's not a proactive approach. It's like when a problem comes, they look for a solution. It's more that kind of an approach. So for now, they will keep things steady, but I don't think they won't come up with concrete numbers or fixed method of doing things. They will say they will just mention a general comment that we are committed to providing support to the Eurozone economy.
Are the investors will be better according to this decision maybe tonight?
I think it's all priced in. Market tends to speculate a lot, and all this optimism is already priced in. So for me, the markets may just remain stable, or there could be a bit of a disappointment and some correction, in fact. But the other positive thing is that there are also analysts who are predicting that they may cut interest rates from 0.75 to 0.5, which is also kind of priced in. So that would maybe a support, but then for the euro currency, their currency can actually dip.
So now maybe we're heading into rupiah fluctuation or towards store. How is it? Which one is now popular?
The thing is, rupiah has always been my favorite currency, and I've always liked the high interest rate and the beautiful economy. Besides of course, there are other concerns like lack of government spending, subsidies, inflation is under control now. But the fact is, if you see all emerging market currencies, such as the Indian rupees, the Indonesian rupiah, they're all depreciating over the last 1 year, if you see. So there has been dollar strength. What I believe is that rupiah, we will see a rate of 10,000 by the end of this year. Mainly because of they have first time faced a trade deficit in 2 years. Their trade deficit is now about 164 billion. So because of that, rising imports and falling exports, the market will tend towards 10,000. And if there is some correction in the stock market, which I don't see a big correction, but there's been a good rally, so there can be a mild correction where foreign investors may pull out money. If they pull out money, means rupiah comes out of the country, and that could also weaken the rupiah.
But Minister of Finance told that the foreign direct investment is increasing, so that the deficit of the trade is now getting better. So how is it about that?
True, that is more of a long-term. Foreign direct investment is increasing, but we know from the stock market impact, like in the past when there was lack of US dollars and foreign investors started selling the stock market, the rupiah depreciated easily by 200 to 300 rupiah. So I see that foreign direct investment would be increasing, but at least till the end of this year, I see rupiah weakening to 10,000. But if you ask me long-term, 2 to 3 years, we should see rupiah back to the 9293 level. But with all the uncertainty that's out there, people are more cautious, and markets, it'll sort of, it may just range bound between 9.4 to 9.6, but slowly creep higher.
Slowly creep higher. So what is the best investment on currency? USD, Australian dollar, or other currency?
I really like the Australian dollar, but now because the China economy is slowing, GDP growth from double digits come down to 7.6%. Japanese economy is slowing. So I would suggest that if the Aussie dollar, now it's currently at about 1.02, and there could be some more slowdown from the manufacturing sector in China, I would pick up the Aussie dollar below parity. So if it drops to 0.9950 or 1, I think that's a good buy at that level, because people are hungry for return on investment. So you can buy Aussie on dips, basically. But in terms of the dollar, because there's so much uncertainty, I suggest investors to keep some money in US dollars as well, because US dollar is a safe haven asset. Whenever there's panic in the market, we can see the rupiah weakens, the Aussie dollar weakens, all risk assets weaken, and the US dollar strengthens. Why? Because US dollar is the primary currency. Everyone's currency reserve, international reserves are in US dollar.
Yes. So now in the middle of this uncertainty on currency, maybe any suggestion for the investors to maybe who concerned on this currency of investment?
Well, Aussie buy under parity, under par, and look to sell at 1.05. I think that's the range for the Aussie dollar. I think Euro US dollar is in a beautiful range. This year I would see Euro dollar ranging between 1.22 to 1.29. So 1.2200 to 1.2900. Basically, because when there's panic, people sell off the euro. But then 25% of the country reserves or the global reserves are still in euros. So euro is a nice ranging market. So if euro approaches 1.2750, investors can look to sell. As it approaches 1.22 to 1.23, it's a good buying opportunity. So it's a nice range trade in this kind of market. Besides that, gold is my favorite, especially on deep corrections. Of course, now gold has had a big rally because of stimulus expectation, quantitative easing 3. So I would be a little cautious of buying gold near the 1700. There's a good resistance there. But if it dips to below 1650, I would look to be picking it up. Yeah.
So how is gold doing now? I mean, is it strength?
It's about 7% up this year, and I see it by the end of this year at $1,900 per troy ounce.
Does gold stand against amid the euro uncertainty, or is it more anti-dollar commodity?
Okay, because the gold is quoted against the US dollar, right, $1,690 per troy ounce in dollars. So whenever there is a panic and dollar tends to strengthen, the gold can dip. But I've always seen this interesting points where gold dips, and when dollars strengthen, even gold climbs back up. Because it's like a buy on correction. A lot of investors are keen to buy on gold. The richest people are buying gold. Not to become richer, but to protect their assets because of the depreciating currencies. People have lost their trust in currencies, so now everyone is converting into gold. Just as an example, out of the 100% gold supply, 40% is in investments. So it's spectacular.
We'll talk about gold further after the break.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
More of discussion is coming up next. Stay with Revenues International.